Hello and welcome back to Between Screenings with myself and Tom Percival for all your bi-weekly film chat. How are you, Tom?
I'm very well, Neil. I'm excited to talk about some movies today because there's a Steven Spielberg picture in cinemas, and I love nothing more than Steven Spielberg. I'll be completely honest with you.
Fair enough. And also, I've seen a horror that you hadn't seen and you've seen a horror that I hadn't seen.
Yeah, so we can compare notes because you've now seen Obsession, and you can understand why it's a phenomenon. And I have now seen Backrooms, and I, to be completely honest, am at a slight loss why it's a phenomenon. But we can get into that when we start talking.
Yep, cool. So where would you like to start? Should we start with Stephen?
Let's start with Steve. Big Stevie S.
So give your review of Disclosure Day, and then I'll give my very recent feedback because I went this afternoon.
Okay, so I'll do a brief prelude for those who haven't seen it, but this is starring Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor, Colin Firth, Colman Domingo, and it's basically a mishmash of conspiracy theories and sort of like alien urban legends from across American history. And the idea of the film is all of those things were true and they've been kept from the world by this mysterious, not even governmental, is it? Like this mysterious agency, basically.
Yes.
And it is the day that, humanity is going to find out about aliens. Is sort of the movie, isn't it? Like it's the lead up to the reveal that aliens exist. They walk amongst us, and this agency has been using their technology for years to help advance humanity and keep them out of the light. I really like this, Neil. And I think I don't need a weird alien device to predict that you maybe didn't. I will say that I think this is a weird film in that I think that the actual plot itself is quite weak. And I don't necessarily think promise of, hey, you're going to find out what happens when humanity finds out about aliens in any way, shape, or form. However, I did not care for a second because I think it speaks to the difference to what a skilled director Steven Spielberg is, that I was charmed throughout this film. I just think that he understands pacing. I think he understands how to balance humor, action, all those types of things. So although, yes, I did have big issues with the movie, I was just really, really impressed by the acting, the direction, and the fact that I didn't care about how weak the story is because I was just so caught up in everything that Steven Spielberg was trying to do. That said, those CGI deers look terrible, and I don't know how the man who brought dinosaurs to life couldn't do deers.
Or a fox.
Or a fox, yeah. Or a what's the bird in it?
Red bird. Red Admiral. I think it was a Red Admiral.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Like all the animals look terrible in it.
Yeah, I thought Emily Blunt was absolutely fantastic in it. I think it's one of the best things I've seen Emily Blunt in for a long time. Yeah, other than Devil Wears Prada 2, obviously. She was
of course
amazing in that as well. But yeah, I thought Emily Blunt was absolutely fantastic in it. I liked a lot of bits of it. Like I liked the early bit where her and her boyfriend stuff, where he thinks she's going mad or that she's having some sort of nervous breakdown. I liked all of that stuff. I thought the Josh O'Connor and his girlfriend storyline was pretty weak. We sort of just binned his girlfriend off pretty quickly and went, see you later. Gave her an incredibly important thing to look after, even though she was an absolute liability. Yeah, I think I had fun with it. It was fine. I think my sort of resounding feeling when the credits rolled was meh. I thought it was fine. I think I enjoyed enough that I would have liked some more big action set pieces. Mm-hmm. I also found it odd that the security guys that were chasing Josh O'Connor were that bad that he could sneak up on basically about 40 of them. But none of because they were all looking at a farmhouse. Not one of them looked behind them.
Yep, it was absolutely terrible. And they even, at the start of the film, they say, oh, he was just a guy who sat at a desk, basically, for the last 10 years. So they don't even say he's got field experience. They were just that incompetent.
He literally was sort of hiding behind a hedge that was dead.
Yeah.
That was
walking through a field. Yeah.
And then managed to steal a car. It was that just annoyed me a bit. And then also when they sort of spoilers coming. So if you've not seen it, don't they drive a car off a cliff and then hide behind a rock. But
Yes,
while
yes, they
everyone
do.
is still there, then sneak away. And you're like, they would hear you. They would.
Yep.
They're going to do a sweep of the area. No. So there were lots of little bits like that frustrated me. Sort of, I'm not sure what Colin Firth's character was.
No, I would say of everything, he is the character who I think the film probably needed to spend another 10 minutes sort of on, because again, spoilers at this point. In the end, he sort of just gives up.
Yes, he does. He
Like,
just goes,
he,
meh.
he yeah, they arrive at a TV studio to tell the world about aliens, and he spent the entire day, like 48 hours chasing them, basically. And he finally catches them at the end, and he's, admittedly, at this point, Emily Blunt sort of has alien powers.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's a little bit like, oh, he can't stop her, but he doesn't really try. And his second in command essentially goes, why aren't you trying? And leaves with all of his soldiers. It does feel, and in fact, funnily enough, I was talking about this with another critic, and we were saying how that ending feels like such a cop out, except for the fact that then you get the disclosure, and I just had full body chills watching it. You know, like when the journalists are like, so absorbed by the footage and sharing it with the world. And I was like, I don't think another director could do, certainly, sorry, other directors could do this, but that was, for me, was like vintage Spielberg, the man who can make people watching monitors into one of the most riveting things I've seen in cinema in ages.
It does kind of bypass the fact that there would be a shitload more skepticism nowadays than was displayed when the disclosure happens.
Oh, I mean, yeah, but I forgive the film for that, because, you know, at the end of the day, for narrative efficiency, it needs the film needs to end. Like, we couldn't just have someone come up and say, well, what if it was AI or all that stuff? The film is there to do, aliens are real, just accept it. We move past it. Like, that doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I was slightly disappointed we didn't get a little bit more of the sort of aftermath of that. So how does humanity now deal with it? But it just leaves that up to you, I suppose.
Yeah, I agree, and equally as well, I thought the design on the alien, who you do see, like, sorry, again, spoilers, they wheel an alien in, it turns out is been Common Domingo's friend the whole time. He basically has a chat with Emily Blunt, and then Emily Blunt goes to tell the world what the alien told her, and we don't find out what the alien said. The credits start to
the
roll.
alien also came out sort of in a wheelchair wrapped in bubble wrap.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
In a weird shower curtain.
Yeah.
Which was slightly odd, because again, that's not
Yeah.
explained why it needs to be in this weird sort of cryo chamber type plastic thing.
No.
And then suddenly it opened up. And also it was very large compared to the
It was
aliens we saw in
huge.
the footage. So were they like teenagers? Is that why they kept crashing everywhere? Because they were joyriding teenagers? I always think with any alien thing, and this isn't just a Disclosure Day thing, I always think with any sort of alien thing, it's like they've traveled light years across space, but they can't cope with flying on Earth and they crash. Like, it seems unlikely.
No, agreed. But again, I just didn't care. I'll be honest
No,
with you.
that stuff's more of a gripe with sort of the sort of alien conspiracy stuff. Is like, but why would they crash?
I'm such a pedant. I did say when we left, I was like, why are the aliens like 2 foot tall when we saw them with like Nixon and stuff? And like, why is that one like 8 foot tall?
Massive. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Like, yes, and I do think this has turned out to be quite like, it's been a little bit divisive with critics. I've seen everything between 2 and 4. I think 4 is probably a little charitable, to be completely honest.
I think it's fun and it's original and it's it's Spielberg doing a Spielbergy film. I think he needed to be served with a better script. I think that would have helped. It's done okay opening weekend, but it's gonna have to stick around to hit 300 million, which it needs to do to sort of break even. So
I mean, and is it realistically when we've got, I mean, we'll talk about it in a bit, you've got Toy Story 5 coming out like in a few days. Like, I have my doubts. Who knows though? Like, you know,
Hopefully, he can stick around. Hopefully, it can make some money. I mean, he's pretty reliable, isn't he? On at the international box office, he is still a draw, so it'll probably do okay
certainly.
internationally.
And
Yeah, I'd have either liked more action or more aliens. I think.
I I agree. I've not actually. Is it? It's David Koch who wrote it, isn't it? And yeah, yeah. Like so, it's. I mean, he wrote Dial of Destiny and Jurassic Park, Jurassic World Rebirth recently. Like, you know, he's not a vintage screenwriter for me. I'm sorry. I know he's worked with. I know he did. Like, did he do the initial Jurassic Park and like all that stuff with Spielberg back in the day? I think he's gone slightly off the boil in recent years. But yeah, I'd agree. Like, I think I think the thing with it is because like I saw it with friend of the podcast, Clarice Lockery, and she just loved she loved it. She thought it was great. Like, and it's very difficult to. I think Steven Spielberg just does a magic to him that, and maybe it is that critics just are willing to give him the benefit of the doubt that they won't give other filmmakers. But I thought it was. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun.
Good, and I mean, I got to see the Odyssey trailer while I was there, which made me quite excited. Um, so yeah, that was good. I saw another trailer, but the other trailers I've forgotten what other trailers. Oh, I saw the Toy Story 5 trailer.
Of course, you did.
Um,
We'll be talking about the Odyssey in a bit because that has been that's it.
Fun
Since
week
that's
for
been
you? A fun
yeah,
morning for you?
a very fun morning for me.
Right, well,
Um,
let's finish off the current films we've seen, chat. So, Odyssey, the box office behemoth that is still going and is about to cross 300 million at the box office. It's about to get where Disclosure Day needs to.
yeah.
But it didn't need to get that far because it only cost £1 million. Although $1 million. Although there's been a lot of discourse around should the people working on it have been paid more with its subsequent
So
um,
y- you're a
success.
filmmaker. You've made films. I and I'm gonna sound like maybe I've been late stage capitalist pilled here, but like, you see what's her face? Indy Navarrete who played Nikki. She only got 20. Again, these are all like rumored figures. She apparently only got $20,000 for appearing it. The production designer, I think, got $6,000
Yes,
for it.
around that amount,
Like,
yeah.
they joined a very, very small movie. Like
Yes,
genuinely
like
like
Curry Barker had no idea that this was going to sell for 15 million to working title in the first place, and no idea that it was going to go on and make this much at the box office. What I would say is, you know, in terms of India, you've got to blame her agent. Like either they just point blank said, "Look, we're not offering points," or the agent never asked for any, because it's a fairly standard thing for an actor, at least, to ask for a cut of the back end. So either they didn't think it was going to make any money because most indie movies don't, so they didn't bother putting it in, or they asked for it to be in and the team said no, which seems unlikely. Um, so yeah, I don't know which way. And again, the same with the all the HODs and people. Like, it is sort of kind of standard to have a bonus structure or a amount on the back end. They obviously signed up without that in their contracts. Should he maybe, if he's got a windfall, should he maybe say, well, actually, no, I've got a windfall here. I'm going to reward the crew that came on the film. That's kind of up to him. But it is surprising that those things weren't already in the contracts. Because you can have things like if it makes this much money, everyone gets this bonus. It doesn't have to be a percentage because people are like, oh, can he, like, percentages are difficult because it ends up being like 0.1%. And then you're like, well, what's the point? It's probably going to make nothing.
well,
Because you can't give everyone 1% because 1% is a lot when you times it by sort of 50 people that are working on the film. So
Well, I don't have the exact quote to hand, but I know he has said that like he wishes he could have paid people more, but like the people who are getting the first cut of that money are the people who took on the financial burden. And I don't
yeah,
know.
always the
Again,
way.
I don't know how they financed this movie. Like 750,000 is not nothing for an independent film. It's not a huge again. It's not silly money, but it's not certainly bigger than some of the budgets you see at films that come to Manchester Film Festival, but I imagine there'll be people asking, right, well, I put in, a couple, like maybe $100,000.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I am expecting my cut. And, there'll be the studio, like, there'll be, marketing, all of that. And again, I'm
You got
not
to
trying
remember,
to make
50% of that
excuses.
300 million goes to the cinemas.
Yep.
At least 50% of what's left then goes to working title. You've then got to take off, but that's actually, you haven't taken off working titles marketing, and they will have spent quite a lot marketing, and they will probably spend quite a lot more marketing because they may well do a Oscar campaign for it. So, there's a lot of expenses to come out of it. Like you say, your financiers and your other people have got to take the money, and then finally you start looking at bonuses. It's not like, unless you've literally got lines in the contract that are, if it hits this box office milestone, you get this much. Then it does become difficult. So I don't know the ins and outs of it, but
So
everyone knew
I'm
what they
just,
were getting into when they got into it. Plenty of people work on indie films, and indie films make absolutely no money. Like, no one's asking them to give their fees back if it makes no money. So I think it is. I think the crew should be compensated if the film does well. I mean, the lead actress, she's gonna get bigger things now. So,
oh, I mean,
that's kind of her reward for it if she doesn't get anything else financially from this film. Her
well,
next job is gonna pay a lot better.
Focus Features have said they're going to put her forward they're going to do a Best Supporting Actress campaign for her. Like, regardless of, I personally, I don't know whether she'll get nominated, but it doesn't matter. She is the girl from Obsession. She is, I mean, I'll ask you what you thought of the movie, but I think she is the best thing in the movie. Like, I think she doesn't have anything to worry about. And again, I do know that Curry Barker has said, again, this is the harsh part of filmmaking. The idea is that this is now a calling card for you. I was the head of production on Obsession. Oh, that is a movie I know. I think it's going to make getting your next job a little easier, or you'd hope so. Certainly, that's the way it's meant to work. I don't know if it is. So, yeah, a shame for those who don't feel that they've been adequately compensated. But again, like you say, they knew what they were getting into.
Yeah. So let's actually talk about the film. So I saw it a couple of weeks ago. I enjoyed it. I had a good time with it.
Yeah,
It's not, there's a few bit elements of sort of your proper horror in it. There's some bloody moments, things like that. But it almost plays, I think, because it's got the slightly supernatural element. That's what makes it lean a lot more horror. But it
yeah,
is almost like a psychological thriller. It's like Single White Female or something.
yeah. No, it's
In
definitely like that.
in kind of that respect, she is brilliant in it. Like, if her performance wasn't as strong as it was, that film would struggle, because I think he's a bit wet.
Yes, by design,
Um,
but by
like, he is meant to
design,
be. He is
yeah.
meant to be fair. But he is a bit, because he needs to be kind of a bit naive and a bit wet around the gills. But she's so strong and feisty early on, and then the sort of slight the turn when she becomes obsessed is really good. And some of the facial expressions, the way, her tone of voice when she's delivering certain lines, I thought she was absolutely brilliant in it. And I really liked the ending. I thought the ending was fantastic.
I love the ending. I think my favorite scene in the entire thing is when he wakes up in the night and she's not there,
Yes.
and you can see her in the, like, he's looking around the room and you can't see her in the initial shot, but you can hear her, and then there's just that little, you can just about make out her face, and she is pulling some horrific expressions as she's doing it. I just love the way she moved. I love everything about that character. I like how she manages to make Nikki and Wish possess Nikki, if that's the sort of,
Yeah.
what we want to call her. The differences between them, I think it's remarkable. I really do. And I mean, again, spoiler warning. I think that there are two scenes that will stay with me basically forever now, which is, of course, the brick scene, which is when Nikki uses a
Yeah.
brick to smash in her love rival's face. But for me, the scariest scene in it is when he rings the helpline for the One Wish Willow, and he's like, "Yeah, well, it worked." And the guy's like, "Do you want me to undo it?" And he's like, "No, yeah." And he's like, "Can't." And then
Yeah.
he's like, "Do you want to speak to the real Nikki?" And he's like,
Oh,
"What?" And then
horrendous.
it's just her screaming, and
Yeah.
yeah, that was horrible.
Well, the bit for me was when early on, where she's first snogging him, and then real Nikki comes back just briefly and
Yep.
is just screaming and screaming and screaming away from him, and he's like, "What the fuck is going on?" but then
Yep.
she sort of wish Nikki takes over, and yeah, I mean, he obviously has to suspend disbelief quite a lot, but he's got what he wanted. Like, he's just wanting to believe that this is real, and it's not the wish thing. That's just a coincidence. Obviously, that didn't work. That would be nonsense. Like, she just does like me. Like, something's going on. Obviously, his mate's very skeptical. And obviously, her behavior then ramps up and up and up. I think there were people in the cinema with me. There was people behind me in the cinema who were like, just go and get another one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it takes him quite a while to decide to do that. Whereas I
Yeah,
think
but
I probably would have made that decision a bit sooner.
I agree, but I also think the film does explain it when he wakes
Yes.
up in the night and real Nikki, she's like, can talk to him for a bit. And he's like, would being with me be so bad? And he's just such a selfish dick. Like, at that point, he's well aware of what's happened. It's only when she kills Sarah, is it Sarah? That, he's then like, oh shit, I should probably undo this. Like, Bear is the villain of the movie.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
But he's just a
I
very
will.
wet villain.
He is, yes, he is.
He's essentially an incel, though, realistically, isn't he? He's an incel in plain sight.
Yeah, basically. Like, I've seen Curry Barker come out and say the idea for the film, like, so often with these like monkey paw movies, where you get a wish, but the item warps what you want. Curry Barker said, no, like that guy, his mate just wished for $1 million, and got $1 billion. Like, Bear made an evil wish. That Bear took away someone's free will. It's nothing to do with like the One Wish Willow being evil.
Yeah, just be careful what you wish for.
Speaking of things that are evil, though, I went to see The Backrooms, a movie you'd already seen and I believe quite enjoyed.
I did enjoy it, yeah.
I don't know if I was less keen. I definitely think Obsession is the better, more interesting movie of the two. I think that Backrooms makes such a massive mistake in that it has, I think, one of the most effective cold openings to a movie ever. Like, when you say, again, spoilers, like the scientist trap, it opens with a scientist, like video camera filming himself trapped in the back rooms, and it is so scary. It's so creepy. And I was like, oh my God, is it going to be like this for the whole like 50-minute, hour 50? Because this is going to be too intense for me. And the answer is, no,
No.
it's not.
No, we're going to not do any of that really
Yeah.
at all again.
Yeah. And then it gets really good again when he takes, Chiwetel Ejiofor takes two of his shop assistants. He finds the back rooms, takes two of his shop assistants into the back rooms. And that's when it gets really good again. And you're like, oh my God, what is here? Like, what is this? And then very quickly, and then it swaps characters. And like it puts the brakes on the entire thing to then follow his psychologist who finds the back rooms, and then he kidnaps her because he's gone insane, and he explains what he thinks the back rooms is. And this is all like, I'm sounding a bit glib because I do think everything around it is really effective. But I was a bit like, oh, we keep on stopping the scary bit, which is just imagine being lost in here. Like, I know that's a difficult thing to make into a nearly 2 hour long movie, but it doesn't need to be 2 hours. It should have just been 90 minutes of these, like, you're lost and there are things after you. That said, though, you promised the weirdest horror movie villain of the year, and I did not expect.
You didn't expect that monster?
No, I didn't expect a 9-foot tall pirate. Which I am horrified to find out wasn't CGI.
Nice.
Yeah, that is. Have you seen Alien Romulus? So the alien-human hybrid at the end that
Yes.
when she thinks that's the same actor wearing that pirate costume and like a mask. Obviously, like then enhanced with CGI to make the face move. But yes, that's him back. And I realized when the pirate was walking after the whatever the psychologist is called, because he's got very unique shaped hips, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's him! He's back!" And to terrify me, I think this is good. I thought this was a bit more workmanlike. Like you could see the James Wan. James Wan's, he was a producer on it. I was like, yeah, I get where he was. He maybe had notes. But yeah, good enough. Like a 3-star for me compared to the 4 I'd probably give Obsession.
Yeah, I mean, it's not hung around as much, has it? It was very much an early weekend success, and
Yeah.
it's still going, but it's not had that longevity that the Obsessions had. Because I don't think you're coming out of it and going, "Oh my god, you've got to go and see this."
Well, I think like
I did really enjoy it though. I'm interested in the sequels
yes.
because I think they're going to lean more into the scientists and what they're up to in looking into the back rooms. I liked all the weird faces on people. Um, I liked the randomly just eating them.
Yep. They're made of food, apparently.
They're made of food, which was odd. Um, but yeah, it was. I think there's a lot to unpack in it, and I think, like you say, I think there's lots of ways it could have gone, and it ends up not going the way you expect it to. Because, like I say, when he takes the two, there's a really great, quite scary chase scene when he takes the two assistants in with him. But then it sort of just hard cuts to a few weeks later,
Yeah.
when his psychiatrist just sort of trying to figure out where he's gone.
Yeah. And at that point, he's comfortable in the back rooms. Like he literally says he likes them. Um, I don't think you do yourself any favors, like when you've got like an evil location like the back rooms, to have someone who's happy to be there, or
Yeah, but I
like
think it's they've corrupted him though, haven't they? They've
they
corrupted him, and
have.
he's become part of the fabric of the back rooms. So,
Yeah, I suppose I don't know. I'm interested. Like it was a. I mean, we're definitely getting a sequel,
oh,
so
100% we're getting a sequel.
so we'll learn more, no doubt.
Mark
But
Duplass will hopefully have more to do in the sequel
yes, I imagine he
because he
will.
had nothing to do in this film.
He got to watch TV with his family.
He did get to watch TV with his family and chat to her at the end a bit.
Yes. Very quickly then, should I talk about the last new movie I've seen? Oh wait, no, sorry,
Yeah,
I've seen two. I've seen two. I've got two more movies, but I'll do them both very quickly. So I saw Office Romance, which is the new movie out on Netflix with Jennifer Lopez and Brett Goldstein. He plays her lawyer. She's the CEO of an airline, and basically, it's a rom com. They fall in love, but they can't be together because they're employee and boss. Um, it is incredibly charming. Like, I am not a big rom-com guy. I was just I really like J-Lo. I think I think she's underrated as an actor, and she's fantastic in this. I think Brett Goldstein is just very funny. Like, he is doing Roy Kent to an extent, like, but it works. Like, it's charming enough. It's the type of thing you'd put on a Friday night, you're not gonna be annoyed you watched it. Like, streaming fodder. Perfectly good fun.
Good stuff.
And finally, Masters of the Universe, the new He-Man movie. And I expected to hate this, I'll be completely honest. It felt like it was Mattel trying to get in on the Barbie trend of like, oh, we've got a popular toy. Let's make a movie about that.
You know Mattel
Um,
make Barbie.
do they? Oh, well,
Are you
well, in
mad?
fact, in that, I thought it was Hasbro. In that case, then it's Mattel maybe perhaps going, well, we need one for the boys now. Regardless, absolutely. Like I love this. I watched this on the same day I watched Backrooms, and I thought it was remarkable. Like just really funny, really camp, really self-aware. It's very much in the same vein as the Lego movie. Like you have super low expectations, and it knocks it out the park. The best thing in it, and this is a very rare thing for me to say, Jared Leto.
Right. Well, there you go. As unrecognizably as Skeletor, though.
And 100% not on set, which I think made all the other actors very happy,
Yes,
in
probably.
my opinion, because to say otherwise would be libelous. But no, he is very, very funny in this. He's a good Skeletor. Yeah, and it's not just me being a geek who liked it. Emily also liked it. So there you go.
I think the problem with it I have with it is I'm not going to see it at the cinema. I may watch it when it comes out on streaming or something. But who's it for? Like, who is
Well, that's
the
why.
audience? Because I am the age where I grew up with He-Man. Like, He-Man was a big part of my childhood. But I'm now 44, so, well, I'm not 45. I have no desire to go and see it at the cinema. Maybe if I had 10-year-old boys, I'd be up for taking them to see it. But I don't think the younger kids are that bothered by it because they've not grown up sort of with it. So it would be a dad taking his kids, I suppose, to relive his childhood and show them hope they got the enjoyment he did out of it. Or just grown men who haven't grown up going to see it.
Well, I would say that when I went to the theatre, it was a 50-50 split between uh, people your age taking their sons to go see it, and people my age who looked exactly like me going to see it by themselves. And a group of boys who clearly been given some pocket money to go watch something in the cinema and sat at the back talking throughout it until one brave customer stood up and told them to be quiet. Yeah, no, I mean that's why it's made 87 million, isn't it? Let's be completely
Yeah,
honest. Like
there's not a
it's
big
not
enough market for it, basically.
no, and I don't think like I would say that I'm the target demographic for this. Like I had He-Man toys growing up. I do not like He-Man enough to go. Like this was something I was quite content to wait to watch on streaming, and it was
Yes.
only word of mouth that convinced me. Oh, you should go see this because I missed the press screening, and I was like, I don't want to pay to see a He-Man movie in 2026. But the word of mouth was so strong on it. I was like, yeah, I'll go. And I think it's a shame that it's not done well because I know that the director had plans for a sequel. I just don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, I don't think enough people care about He-Man at this point.
No. I mean, there's been a She-Ra series on Netflix, hasn't there? Like they've sort
Yeah,
of have resurrected it slightly, but yeah, I just don't know if the younger generation are into He-Man enough for it to work.
no, and I mean Netflix also did a He-Man series. Like I think it's done 2 in the last 5 years, and both of them have been cancelled. Again, who cares about He-Man?
Well,
Like it
this
was a
film
toy.
was with Netflix for a while. It's been with Sony. It's been with Netflix. It's been with quite a few
Really?
studios. Like it's been in development for a long, long time, and it's finally ended up with MGM slash Amazon. So it is one of those films where it's been knocking around a while, gone through a lot of directors, and then finally ended up where it's ended up. So I'm not sad to see it struggling at the box office, to be honest, because I just don't think we need these films anymore. I think we need Hollywood to learn lessons that people are up for original storytelling. What we don't need them to learn is that everyone loves original horror, so we just get an absolute glut
Sl- Slew of
of
horror movies.
sloppily done horror movies over the next 2 years. But that probably is what will happen.
I mean, yeah, 100%. I mean, like, what is it? The lessons learned from the Minecraft of Mario were that people like video game movies now, so we're going to get Minecraft, and then we're going to get Mario 2, and
Street
it's always
Fighter,
the same.
which has
Street
now
Fighter.
crossed 1 billion.
Yeah. Oh, how's that?
Mario Galaxy has now crossed the bill mark.
Well done, Mario. Congratulations. I'm very surprised you didn't do that in the first 2 weeks, to be completely honest. But
Yeah, just says that you weren't great because you didn't do it in the first 2 weeks. I mean, we have got another couple of billion-dollar movies coming up soon. This weekend will be the first of them. We have Toy Story 5. I've already got my
yes.
tickets booked to go see them on
Have,
Friday afternoon.
have you? Are you excited? Because
Yes,
the reviews have been positive.
I am excited. It looks to me more like the Toy Story movie we wanted when Toy Story 4 came out.
Yeah.
I personally was a bit disappointed with Toy Story 4. I think it's hard because the first 3 are so good. Like the first 3 are like a perfect trilogy. So anything then coming out after that is going to struggle. I just think the storyline was not the best. And they also didn't treat Buzz Lightyear very well. Suddenly made him
No.
thick and only following his button, which I think I've talked about before. So yeah, but this one, we're back predominantly what looks like in a child's bedroom with the toys dealing with a new toy arriving that there is going to take Bonnie's affection away from them. So we're back to the sort of original arc of Toy Story 1, really.
Yeah.
And we've got Forky with his crazy quips.
You are such a Forky fan. Like
The best thing that came out of Toy Story 4 was Forky. And if you've not seen Forky Asks a Question on Disney Plus, you need to go and watch Forky
you are
Asks a Question on Disney Plus.
you are evangelical about Forky Asks a Question. This is like the 5th time I think you've recommended it
Well,
on the
have you watched it
podcast.
yet?
No, I've not. I've got
Go
other
and watch
things to
Forky.
watch.
They're like 4 minutes long each.
So I will say, I like I think it's got 92% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. It is, I know quite a few people who've seen it already and said it's really, like, it's just good. Like, it's undeniably just, just good. Like, it's, except for lone dissenting voice, Clarice Lockery, who gave it 2 stars in her independent review and basically said it's a soulless cash grab. Um,
I
I
think the
wonder,
problem with it is, I think the problem is you do just think it's because the fourth one felt like a cash grab because the
yeah.
first three were so good and tied everything up so nicely that it's like, well, why are we back here? And you're like, well, we're back here because this will make us $1 billion. I think it can be a cash grab because Disney will just be like, we're making a fifth one. We want the cash. It's going to make cash. But then the filmmakers involved can still care deeply about the characters and the story, and it can still be really, really good. I think it has the ability to be a cash grab and be good at the same time, unlike the live action Moana, which will just be a cash grab. And I don't know who's going to go and watch it, and I hope it dies a death because every time I see a trailer for it, it looks worse.
So I thought that the Moana 2 was the worst thing that Disney had ever made. Like, because you could see literally where they'd sewn the episode, because it was meant to be a Disney Plus series, and they decided, hang on a minute, there's essentially potentially $1 billion
Bob Iger
that we're.
came back, and Big Bob went, "There's cash on the table here. Let's take it."
Yep, exactly. So, it did well, but I will say that the first Moana is exceptional. Like, such a good movie, like, great songs, great characters, really, really, really good in animation with an impeccable story. And the second one is a turd. Like, it's
Yeah,
an
but
actual
again,
turd.
the second one still did over $1 billion at the box office.
Yeah, I know, and I know that, and I will say I've been watching the junket stuff that, and Andrew Stanton, is it? He's the director on this. Yeah, Andrew Stanton, the director. He does seem to have something to say with this movie. Like, he's been thinking about, like, screen time with his kids and stuff like that, and like what it means.
It came out
How
10
that would
years ago.
change.
Who's going to see it? It came out 10 years ago.
I mean, no, sorry, I'm talking about Toy Story 5, not
Oh, Toy Story 5.
Moana.
Right, fine. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah,
I
yeah.
do not. I watched the trailer for the Moana remake, and as when I went to the cinema the other day, there was a standee of Dwayne the Rock Johnson, and I was like, "This has just been stripped of all its charm. Like, like, this does not look good."
Yeah, I don't get who the audience for it is. I don't get it. Like, my kids are now. I went with my kids to watch the first Moana when they were 6 and 4, and now they're 16 and 14. They're not going to want to go and watch a live action Moana,
No,
and they're also not old. Even if they were 12 and 10 when we went to see the Moana the first time, they'd now be 22 and 20.
yeah,
So they're not old enough to go, oh, remember this from our childhood. Let's take our kids. Like we would have been with, say, Aladdin or Little Mermaid. Um, and then, so I just don't, I don't get who it's for, and it looks terrible. But yeah, Toy Story, like you say, I think the director of Toy Story 5 and the people behind Toy Story 5 care about the story they're telling.
yes, that much is true, and I always have faith in Pixar because even their worst films, there's always something to like in them, with the exception of Lightyear, which might be the worst thing they've ever made.
Lightyear was a travesty.
Yes, agreed.
Lightyear was an absolute disgrace of a film.
Yeah,
I should have
I
loved Lightyear, and I absolutely loathed it.
Lightyear I stand by Lightyear in theory is an interesting idea,
Yes.
but God Almighty, did they butcher it? It's
Well,
terrible. Again,
that is not the film that would have made Andy love Buzz Lightyear.
no, it is not. No, it definitely isn't, because no one would love Buzz Lightyear after watching Lightyear.
No, it was But I'd just like to forget that film exists. But yeah, I mean, most of the even the stuff that ended up going straight to Disney Plus, like Luca, I really enjoyed.
Yep.
Turning Red, really enjoyed. Soul was all right.
Oh no,
Um,
Soul's gorgeous. Like, I'm
Elemental started slow at the box office, but then ended up doing really well. Hoppers was great recently.
yes, in fact, I saw Hoppers the other day and I'm really pleased that there is now a generation of animators working in Hollywood who clearly grew up watching anime and are bringing interesting animation techniques to Western animation. Because I'm like, oh, look, you could. That's from that's something from Dragon Ball, or that's something from this anime series. Like, I like that about Pixar stuff recently.
I thought Hoppers was very funny as well, which was good.
Yes, yes, it is. Like the Dave Franco's evil moth, evil butterfly, taking over the mayor. Great stuff.
Right, we've got sidetracked. So Toy Story 5 we've done. Is it Odyssey time?
It is indeed time for Odyssey, which has become like, is it the
So I have
fastest
booked
song?
my 70mm IMAX tickets for 8 o'clock in the morning on the Friday of release.
Have you actually?
I'm
I
not a
have.
mentalist. I'm not going at 1 minute past midnight.
So I I am engaged to a mentalist who would quite. I think if I said, "Should we go at 1 minute past midnight?" she would go.
Oh,
Uh,
absolutely nailed on, she would.
yeah, my fiance is the biggest Christopher Nolan fan in the world and has met and interviewed Christopher Nolan, like run a Christopher Nolan podcast. She is obsessed. She on Monday woke me up at 7 a.m. and was like, I have to go to work. You have to sit on these two laptops and get us tickets to the BFI IMAX for the opening weekend. And I was like, I will do what I can. And she was like, no, you have to get us tickets. So we are going at 4:10 on Sunday the 19th because I work Saturdays and we couldn't get in for the Saturday showing. And Em is also very much like, yeah, but you have to get press tickets. Like you just have to. And I was like, but we've already paid like £26 each now to go see it in the BFI. And she's like, yeah, no, I want to see it twice at least.
Yeah, like a
Um,
minimum.
but it is already doing incredibly well, just off pre-sales. Uh, I think it's already brought in sort of like, God, I'm gonna quickly double check the Odyssey IMAX sale. Yeah, breaking smashes BFI IMAX records in the first day of sale. It's sold 28,000 tickets so far, just on the IMAX alone, and that means this is the UK. This is the BFI IMAX in the UK. It's already made 750,000. But it's not even out. We got the second trailer today. It's not even out.
Yeah, mad.
Um,
And that's one screen.
it's going to, yeah, yeah.
That's one screen.
I don't know if you follow IMAX on Twitter, but it is very funny to watch because this is going up against Spider-Man, which is out the same, I think maybe the week before, maybe 2 weeks before. And people have been saying, why aren't you selling Spider-Man IMAX tickets? Like, why are you only selling Odyssey? And IMAX is basically replying saying, we're not showing Spider-Man in IMAX. Why would we? This is selling like hotcakes, basically. Like we we are people cannot wait for this movie.
I think the Spider-Man must be out afterwards.
Is it?
Yeah, it must be out afterwards. Just look, unless it's out at a different time in the States. Moana is out the week before,
Or is it? Well,
says,
I,
which no one wants to see.
no.
Spider-Man is out 2 weeks after.
Is it? Well, it doesn't make a difference because people will still be watching the Odyssey. You heard it here
Oh,
first.
yes. And the thing is, Odyssey is the first film ever filmed entirely on IMAX cameras. Although I did watch a reel on Instagram the other day pointing out that it is shot entirely on IMAX cameras, but they then knew that it would need to also fit other formats. So what you might end up with, because the IMAX format's like that, you'll end up with the center of the frames there. That's what they need the important information to be in, because that's what everyone will see on every single format they watch it in.
Right. Okay.
Where so you end up with maybe quite a lot of dead space and stuff that isn't as important in the rest of the frame. But I trust that Nolan and his cinematographer will have made it look absolutely amazing in IMAX.
I have no doubt that it's going to look absolutely incredible. Like, of course, it's going to look incredible. It's Christopher Nolan. The man doesn't miss.
No, I must say I watched the trailer again today, and I am excited. And Pat, he's got that sort of really good period baddie going on.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. I mean, like, again, love Matt Damon, love Tom Holland, love Robert Pattinson, love the Peter Nolan. Like, it's going to be great. Like, it's going to be epic. I know that's a cliche to say, but it just is.
It is an epic, so it better be epic.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Um, I would yes. I can't wait.
Is it going to get him his second Oscar?
No, don't be greedy. He's
No, he's
got his
already had.
Oscar.
Sorry, he has already had two. Sorry.
Yeah, he's not having another. He's Oppenheimer. I mean, like, will it be better than Oppenheimer? Will it be, will it be better than Interstellar? Will it be better than Inception? I think these are all. I don't care, to be honest. Like, I'm going to take this as it is. I think, even when Christopher Nolan makes, even the worst Christopher Nolan movie, which, as we all know, is Tenet, like, it is still good. Like, it's still great.
Tenet was fun. I'd like to. Tenet again. It was pretty much. It was just a non-stop actioner.
Yes, it was
The
his.
worst bit of Tenet was when they had to then explain everything in the army training camp, and you got like 10 minutes of them just explaining what was going on.
Yeah, I do not need to know the mechanics of a temporal pincer movement. Thank you very much,
No,
Christopher.
don't. Like it was just get on with it, and I'll
I'm
figure it
sure
out.
I'm sure we've said this before, but I'm convinced that was his audition for Bond. That was him going like, I could do it.
Insane that he'll probably never get a crack at Bond.
No, he won't. Much like Steven Spielberg, who we started the podcast with, dreamt of it all his life and never got the opportunity.
Which is mad. Why wouldn't you give these people a chance at these things?
It was because of the Broccolis, wasn't it? Like the Broccolis just
Well,
had
they're
such
gone now, so maybe Amazon like money, so Nolan and Bond would be ludicrous
Yeah,
money.
but have you heard what he wanted to do with Bond? He had like a really, really solid concept for it, which the Broccolis were like, no, we can't do that. And I see why, because he wanted to make it a period piece set in the 60s.
Right.
And I can see why Amazon would be like, no, it has to be contemporary. Like, I do understand from a franchise point of view why you'd want it to be something set in the now.
Yeah. But as we've seen with the DCU, two things can live together at the same time in different timelines.
That is
Like,
very true.
I can love our Pat's Batman, and our Matt Reeves can make the Batman 2, yet we can still have the James Gunn cinematic universe version of Batman as well.
Yes, when they eventually get round to casting him.
When they eventually get around to casting him. That's another. So, Supergirl. Are you excited for Supergirl?
Contractually obligated right now to say yes, because I haven't seen Supergirl and I'm waiting to find out whether I get press tickets. I actually am looking forward to Supergirl. It's adapting one of my favorite comics. I really like Millie Alcock. I think she's great. I think the trailers look really fun, and it's got that Guardians of the Galaxy style edge to it. That it's clearly. I know James Gunn's not directing it, but it's the guy. I think it's the cinematographer from Guardians who's directing it, and I think he's definitely trying to bring that sort of punky aesthetic to it. And I'll be completely honest, I'm just a sucker for Crypto. Like, anytime Crypto's on screen, I'm like, yeah, love that dog.
It'll be interesting. I'm assuming reviews will start dropping next week, so that will be interesting. I mean, I must say, my daughters are interested in it from the trailer. They're not normally interested in any superhero type fare, but they're interested in it from the trailer. But I must also say, I saw a poster the other day on a bus stop, and flipping hell, that is one ugly poster.
I haven't seen the poster, but I can imagine.
It's too
I
bright
don't.
blue.
I don't know
It looked cheesy as hell.
I don't know what's happening with posters at the moment. They're just very ugly.
Yeah, it wasn't a good one. It wasn't a good one. But, I will go and see it. There's no doubt about it. I'll go and see it. Will it? It'll be interesting to see what happens when the critical reviews drops. And it'll be interesting to see how it fares at the box office.
Yes. I know Superman did what, 650, maybe 675 off the top of my
Yeah,
head.
not a bill.
Not a bill, but equally
But decent.
like decent, well enough to justify the investment in the DCU. I think they'll be hoping with this. I think it probably tops out around 300, 400, and they'd be happy with that.
I think they'd be happy with 400.
Yeah, let's see if they.
Mandalorian and Grogu's absolutely tanked.
Yeah, well, again, we've spoken about this, haven't we? You've made a
to be fair,
TV
it's only
series.
315, so it's not done the worst.
Yeah, so apparently, according to Wikipedia, the budget for Supergirl, 170 mil. So if it did 400,
Oof.
I think they'd be quite happy.
Wow. It has to do 400.
Yeah, basically.
Wow, that's a mad budget.
Bigger than I expected. I would have thought about 100.
Yeah.
I guess Jason Momoa doesn't come cheap.
No.
He's the only. I know David Corn Sweat's in it, but he's not a huge name, is he? So I'd imagine it's got to be Momoa who's taking home a healthy chunk of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think that budget really hampers it. I think if he'd made it for 100 mil and it just needed to do 200, 250 to sort of break even, you'd be all right. But at 175, it's needing to push 400. I think it may struggle.
So Deadline have reported that it needs 315 to break even.
Yes.
So I could see it doing three. I think I could see it doing 400.
Well, we will have to see.
We will.
But it'll have some of my money because I think I'll take my daughters to see it.
Well, that's something.
Because I think it just looks fun.
Yeah, it looks like a good romp. Like that's all I basically want from these types of movies, to be completely honest.
Yeah. Just a bit like don't. I think the good thing with Gunn and the way he's moving with the sort of DCUs, it doesn't take itself too seriously.
Yeah. Oh, 100% not. He's like
apart from Clayface. The trailer for Clayface actually looks quite good.
Yeah, but that's far more in line with what I was expecting, sort of like the budget to be on these types of movies. Like, I think that's super cheap. Like, what is it? I'm gonna have a quick look.
But that looks more like a proper dark DC type thing.
Yes, it definitely does. And of course, filmed in Stockport.
Was it really? How on earth did I not know that?
Did you not know that? Yeah, it was. You know, what's the fancy cinema called in Stockport?
My word, that's going to annoy me. How do I not know what the fancy cinema?
It's time for everyone.
That's annoying.
It was filmed in Liverpool
Plaza. The Plaza.
Yes, the Plaza in Stockport.
Wow, that's amazing.
And I imagine that when that comes out much later this year in October, it's going to do very well because it cost $40 million to make.
Yes, that's what you need.
Yeah, 100%.
But again, it'll be a 15 minimum, I would have thought, and it's leaning into the older side of DC. And I think that's the part of DC I've always enjoyed. I've always sort of liked the DC films more than the Marvel films because they're a bit more grown up and a bit more dark.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Nolan did 3 of them.
Yes.
So,
yeah, that does help, doesn't it?
And then obviously Snyder kind of ruined everything.
Yeah, by taking completely the wrong lessons from Nolan and thinking dark for the sake of dark was good. And no, it's not. You need some substance.
We can have fun as well.
That's
I fell asleep in Man of Steel.
I didn't fall asleep in Man of Steel, but I must have told you this before that I had to watch Batman v Superman 3 times before I made it all the way through.
Nice.
Because the first time I was so drunk I fell asleep during the midnight screening. The second time I was so hungover from the night before that I fell asleep. And the third time when I finally made it through and I was like, this was not worth the money. See, I've seen it 3 times.
Am I right in thinking that you were such a big fan of Justice League, though, and the Snyder Cut, that you watched both the color version of the Snyder Cut and the black and white?
You might be right. It's very possible that I have watched both versions just to see whether it was good. You know, you never know.
I'm glad we've moved away from this weird thing that happened a few years ago where we just re-released the film in black and white as if that was somehow a different version of the film.
Yeah, it was it Mad Max that started that with the black and chrome version?
Yes,
or was
and then
it
Parasite randomly was re-released in black and white.
Parasite, because Bong Joon-ho wanted that to be in black and white to begin with, and then they re-released Logan behind the poster for which is behind me now. They released that in black and white. And at that point, I was like, we need to stop this now.
Yeah, like no one, it's not needed.
No, completely
we invented
unnecessary.
Technicolor. Let's stick with that.
Yeah, we've seen The Wizard of Oz. It's great.
It is, and I have to remind my children when we watched it. I was like, just so you know, this was the first film in Technicolor, so they made it black and white at the start just for the contrast and to really blow people's minds.
And you know what? It still blows my mind away now.
Yeah, love it. Right, on that amazing piece of cinema history that obviously no one knew, uh, we'll wrap up for today because we've witted on for long enough. When we speak next, we will have both seen. I think we'll have both seen Toy Story 5, and we'll probably have both seen Supergirl.
I think so, yeah. I can't say when I'm maybe seeing Supergirl, I realize, but I'm seeing Supergirl next week, hopefully, and I'll definitely be seeing Toy Story.
Well, I'll probably go again next Friday to the cinema to see Supergirl. Hopefully, it'll be on the super screen at my local Cineworld because I like the biggest screen with the best sound.
You like the big screens.
Yeah, the big one with the best sound's always the best one.
Yes, please.
Right, nice one. Well, join us again when we are next between screenings. Bye.
Bye-bye.